Northwestern Kenya is one of the most remote and at the same time one of the most beautiful parts of East Africa. Turkana is a semi-arid land covering 77,000 square kilometers, bordering Ethiopia, Sudan and Uganda. Its inhabitants are nomadic pastoralists who live exclusively from their animals, that is, goats, camels, donkeys and sheep. The prolonged droughts that affect the region make Turkana a difficult place for survival for its population. The provision of drinking water for many people is a laborious task carried out by women. They dig holes along the dry riverbeds, at times more than 5 meters deep. These wells have a danger of collapsing as the depth increases, especially during the dry seasons, and eventually are filled with soil when the rains finally come. From 1986, the missionary community of St. Paul has been working in Turkana, in the Diocese of Lodwar, covering 5 parishes over an area of about 30,000 square kilometers and with a population of about 120,000 inhabitants. Through dialogue with the nomadic communities, the missionaries saw that the priority need of the local population was solving the problem of provision of water for domestic consumption and for the herds of the people through the construction of rock dams and earth dams and the drilling of wells. The identification of the appropriate areas for the construction of each of these infrastructures is carried out jointly between the group of elders of each village and the missionaries themselves. At these meetings, the local elders participate in the design and planning of the dams, the establishment of the amount of local contribution, and, at a later stage, the formation of water committees who check on the maintenance and the proper usage of these infrastructures. Following the United Nations report on water, the collection of rainwater through the construction of dams is the most appropriate means in areas such as Turkana, in that instead of depleting underground water resources, surface water from rains, which could have been wasted, is collected and stored for use. In mountain areas, there are rock formations which are favorable to the construction of rock dams. They provide the necessary base to support the foundation of retaining walls that block dry riverbeds and can hold large quantities of water. The missionaries have trained and formed the local Turkana constructors who build the dams using simple techniques and material that is available in the area, such as stone and sand. Cement is about the only material that has to be purchased and transported in from 600 or 700 kilometers away. The small rock dams are built in a straight form, but when the dams have to store water reaching a capacity of more than 50 million liters, then they are constructed in a curve so as to offer a greater resistance to the water pressure. The external walls are constructed first, with flat, strong rocks and a good mixture of cement. Thereafter, the remaining space is filled with a lighter mixture of mortar and smaller stone chips. Once the appropriate height is reached, the edge of the wall and the original hill is protected with an adequate overflow in the same dam. Apart from the constructors, there are dozens of nomads in each village for whom the project provides for their daily supplies, for as long as the project is in existence. This is how they all learn the simple techniques of construction. Thus, they feel that they are part of the project and guarantee the maintenance and respect for the infrastructure by creating water committees at each village. These constructions need minimal maintenance, and they are intended to function for many years without giving much problem. It is not a coincidence that to date there are 81 dams still in use in Spain which were constructed during the time of the Romans. In the slopes where the dams have been constructed, It is easy to drill wells because the water table is fed with water from the dams, which slowly filters down until it reaches the impermeable layer. Through the installation of hand pumps, there is a guarantee for the provision of potable water for domestic use and for the herds of the people. These hand pumps are easy to maintain. The water committees at the villages are given the necessary basic equipment and training so that they may see to the minimum maintenance of these pumps. Water pumps that are operated by windmills are very useful for the population. They pump large amounts of water for human and livestock consumption as well as for promoting agriculture. In the vast plains where it is not possible to construct rock dams, the only way of storing water is by channeling the small torrents into valleys and deep pits that are dug by an excavator. It is very important when excavating an earth dam to have an outlet so that the pressure of the water held back by the dam may not destroy its walls. Nevertheless, the composition of clay in the soil prevents filtration. Hence, water can be stored throughout the year. Up to January 2008, the continuous effort of the missionary community of St. Paul the Apostle has resulted in the construction of 96 rock dams, 48 earth dams, and more than 70 wells. In a semi-arid land such as Turkana, water will always be the main factor that influences health, animal husbandry, agriculture, and the overall development of its population.